Many things have been changed and altered this year because of the pandemic, including professional sports, which came to an abrupt stop in March. Well, the NBA season is preparing to restart their season, and they're doing it inside the bubble in Orlando. So joining us this morning from the NBA bubble in Orlando is the undefeated senior NBA reporter and my friend Marc Spears. Welcome to the show, Marc.
What's happening out there and back home?
We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. I can't imagine what it's like out there in Orlando right now. Can you describe life in the NBA bubble?
I actually feel like I'm in the safest place in the country. We get not only tested for COVID daily, they take our oxygen level, they take our heartbeat level, our temperature, and they register it every day. And if you don't pass on all three of those things, you don't get into a practice. You don't get into a game. So it's really like everybody's doing this. Everybody's wearing a mask. It's not negotiable. And I've never felt safer. I have friends back home who get tests and don't get the results for 18 days. And I'm getting the results in the email daily. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm not in a rush to leave just because with everything going on, there's no place safer.
Right, and it's a very select group of people. They're obviously the players, the coaches, the support staff, and a handful of reporters like yourself. Do you think they're onto something? We saw what's going on in the MLB with the Marlins getting, several people testing. But do you think they're onto something with this bubble?
Well, MLB definitely should have did this. They definitely should have adopted this, and I think they'll feel like they made a mistake later by not doing it. The NFL should too, but Aubrey, it's hard when you have that many people. Like, each NBA team can only bring 35 people into the bubble. There's only a handful of media selected. So when you're talking about a football team, you probably need about 200 people per team, whereas in this Orlando bubble, they have less than 1,500 people total. I think for the second straight week, 0 players have tested positive for the NBA. It's working. It's been great. It's smart. It's a scientific experiment that's going to be historical. And I think that the NFL and then Major League Baseball is going to regret not going to this model, although it would be a lot tougher for them because they have so many more people.
Well, we've been looking at some of the scrimmage footage, and it looks like the guys are having a good time. You think the players are adapting to this experience? I mean, like you said, they feel safe. So are they able to play up to their full potential right now?
Well, I think the hardest thing is just being away from your families. You can't have any wife, girlfriend, kids, anybody here until you make it to the second round. So that certainly is tough. But in terms of having things to do, like golfing, they have water slides, they could fish. I was just talking to Paul George about fishing, riding bikes. So I don't get access to where the players are. They got access to restaurants. They can go to everybody's hotel. So they definitely they're having a lot of fun. But I think, as one NBA head coach told me, he said, if my son, who loves basketball, was here to enjoy it with me, it would be much better.
Oh, I totally can understand that. Now, for fans, what can they expect? The regular season restart's going to start tomorrow. Without the fans in the stand, does it change the game? Does it feel different?
Oh, it's completely different. I mean, it's like they moved everybody into a video game. It's really strange not having any noise, and I think there's a lot of need for the bench to have energy. Somebody does a good play, they need to yell, or if the team's getting behind, all right, guys. It seems like the teams that have a quiet bench kind of could affect your play. Like they've tried to put these fans on these digital boards and stuff like that.
I've seen that, yeah.
It just looks odd. It just looks like a bunch of peeping Toms, watching the game rather than cheering you on because you can't hear them. So I think right now the Lakers are actually doing the best job of having an engaged bench that's keeping everybody going and excited and with every great play. And that's going to be paramount because it is really, really eerily quiet there.
Oh, wow. Well, you mentioned the Lakers. I know you're sitting outside Laker practice right now. They're kind of like the nemesis here in Northern California.
Zach Jarber right here. Say hi to him. He's a referee.
Thanks for joining us.
his wife and 2 kids started crying when he left, and he started.
Rough, man. Rough.
He's crying like a baby too.
Oh
but
my goodness!
So get Kings fans, get ready to boo this guy.
Oh my goodness!
I'm ready for it.
But he's one of the great refs.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, we appreciate you guys being out there so that we can have some entertainment. Speaking of the Kings, you're a Northern California native. The only Northern California team out there is the Kings. What are their chances with this restart? Are you feeling good about it?
It's not going to be easy. They're definitely going to have to go about 5-3 to make it to get into this playoff part where they probably have to play the Grizzlies and win 2 games. It's not definitely under the realm of possibility. Out of the realm of possibility. Obviously, Bagley will not be playing, but they played pretty well without him. The key is they got to go out of the gate strong. I'm glad De'Aaron is back and he's playing and he's healthy. They can't get behind on it. You really have to win about 70% of your games to be successful. So I think they have the capacity and the talent to do it. But hey, man, let's see, because everybody here is thirsty. The playoffs hasn't started, but come tomorrow night, is the intensity of it, even without fans, is going to feel like the playoffs because there's a lot to be gained, whether it's a playoff spot or playoff position.
Well, I cannot wait, Mark, and I can't let you go without asking real quick. Rashawn Holmes, he's back. I know he got in trouble for leaving the bubble for some chicken wings.
Yeah, I saw him last week. He looked so relieved. He had somebody like, I was one of the first people that saw him right after he got out of quarantine and went to practice. And at least he didn't get busted in a gentleman's club over some chicken wings.
Right.
He was like innocently just trying to get some food out of here and made a mistake. But boy, having to do another 8 days of quarantine because of some takeout, his mama was right. It shouldn't have been anybody's food but hers for him to get in trouble over.
Well, Mark, I know you're busy. You're headed to Lakers practice. You know, get some inside info for us on the Kings, too. We appreciate you joining us from Orlando. And take care. Hopefully we catch up with you again soon. The Undefeated is an ESPN content initiative exploring the intersection of sports, race, and culture. And your Sacramento Kings will restart their season in the bubble this Friday against the Spurs. YCL will be right back.